Hello, I want to talk about the subject of pranks, particularly online. Now, as it turns out, the sound quality on my videos seems to have improved, or at least it seems to be quite stable at the moment. So, so long as it is, I want to just clarify this situation. The sound system on my computer tends to go up and down. I really don't know why. I have the volume at 100%. I speak directly into the microphone and into the webcam. This is a laptop, it's not a smartphone. So whether that has some effect or not, I don't know. I did get a problem with hacking last year, so whether that situation with having my system hacked into impacted the sound system or not, I don't know. But that's just a very brief clarification. So if I do have a video where the sound quality is bad, the reason I go ahead and upload it anyway is simply to have a record of what I spoke about at a particular time so that maybe in the future I could re-upload it or cover the subject again in hopefully better audio. So for the times I do have bad sound quality, I apologize for that. Believe me, it's frustrating for me as much as anyone. That having been said, the subject I want to talk about here is pranks go too far. You know, the internet is full of pranksters. It's full of people who upload videos of them basically going up to strangers in the streets, almost always in public places, and doing something that they elicit laughs from their subscribers, but very few laughs from the people in question. I'm really skeptical of this because I think it is reckless and I think it is basically a dick move. Um, my humor is not square in the sense that I can appreciate edgy humor. I can appreciate dark humor. I can appreciate, um, when I think of humor, I don't think of old slapstick, utterly harmless, politically correct humor. I appreciate edgy humor. But there is a fine line between being edgy and just treating people with a lack of respect. So, as far as I'm concerned, seeing videos, for example, that is about humiliating total strangers for no other reason than eliciting laughs from your subscribers, I have no respect for that. And unfortunately, it does seem to garner a lot of support. You know, these videos tend to be certainly a lot more successful on my channel, but they get tens of thousands, if not millions of views, and most of the comments are positive, like, oh, do this, do that, and people seem to think it's okay. And I have to say, I find that unfortunate because it's borderline bullying, actually. I mean, you don't know what sort of day a stranger is having. You could pull a prank on someone. For all you know, that person has just left a relative in hospital. They could have just been fired from their job. They could have just got very bad news. They could be having a shit day, and your little prank could be just adding to the stress that they might already be going through. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that you don't know. So to show that sort of disrespect to a stranger for laughs, I think it's nonsense. It's different if there's a sort of caveat to it. Maybe if you play a prank, but then give them something back in return. Let's say, I'm sorry, this was just a prank, but here's $10 or something for taking it in good spirits or whatever. But most of the time, it's totally selfish. Care about the victim of the prank. And very often it is based on humiliation. I saw one recently where people were just going up and taking people's food. I mean, it's theft, basically. When someone else has paid for it, it's theft. But what I find interesting is the pranksters often act surprised when people act aggressively, as if they expect them to be okay with it. Now, I'm not condoning violence, but it is human nature when someone thinks that they're being humiliated, they'll fight back. And the other thing about pranksters is sometimes they're playing with fire. So they might be messing with someone they do not want to be messing with. And again, I think it's reckless. So let me know your thoughts. Those who say, "I'll just have a sense of humor," well, the point I would make is you cannot impose what your version of a sense of humor is on the other people. This isn't about censorship or anything like that, but this sort of humor isn't even telling tasteless jokes. It's actually a physical action. And so I think that if it pisses people off, you can't exactly blame people. I've seen certain pranksters who just go out of the way, and I think I've made a previous video on this, which was more specific about actual people who do this, but this is generic. If you're going to pull a prank, have some sort of caveat, give the person something back, or do it in a way that at least isn't humiliating someone. If your prank is solely about, humiliating someone, you're a dick, or you are a bitch. There's nothing cool about that. There's nothing. I have no respect for it, and I don't think it should really be encouraged. Why? Because if we think this is okay, then it just sends out the message that people can treat each other like shit. And what sort of society is that? I hope it doesn't sound like I'm preaching. That's not my intention with this. I see these videos and, you know, people say if you don't like them, don't watch them. Well, I don't. I don't. But I know that they're out there and I've seen enough of them to form a basis for the argument that I'm making. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's harmless or do you think that it can go too far? I personally take the view it can go too far. And half the time these people they're the equivalent of you get radio shock jocks who are as deliberately as provocative as possible to try and elicit controversy. I think it's the equivalent. You get people who are blatantly going out of their way to try and get as much negativity as possible because they're attention whores. They love the attention. They don't care that it's negative attention. They don't even care about being hated. They just love the attention. And so when people subscribe to them, what they're doing is they're fueling it. And I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not saying that people don't subscribe to them. I'm just making the point that is that the society that we want to have where people can act like complete dicks to strangers through the context of a prank, and that's okay? I have seen videos which are basically just bullying. They're basically just about humiliating people, and it's really not cool. So we'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching.